I don't think it's bad to believe in anything, provided that there's sufficient evidence for it. That's the short answer I would give. So I'd read up on the evidence, and if the evidence is sufficiently compelling, then sure, you make an inference to the best explanation. My limited understanding of the multiverse theories that are there now is that there isn't particularly strong evidence to suggest it. The other thing to be aware of with multiverse theories is they're often put forward by naturalists, or they come from a naturalistic frame by people who really just don't want to acknowledge God or the possibility of God's existence. And there is an intrinsic contradiction there with multiverse theories in that context, to the degree that it comes from a naturalistic worldview. Because as soon as we start talking about a multiverse, this idea that there are other physical universes other than this one, you are in a metaphysical space. You're in the supernatural. So as soon as you start talking about multiverses, you can no longer be a naturalist, because you can no longer be in that space that says we are nothing but time plus matter plus chance, because the multiverse in all of its forms as it's currently contemplated necessarily postulates a supernatural realm or a metaphysical realm, something outside of the natural world. And so straight away, you kind of contradict yourself as a naturalist. And also there isn't that much evidence for it anyway. So whether it's bad or good is not for me to say, but I'd say whatever you're going to believe in, check the evidence and then make a call. But it's of absolutely no relevance to the truth of the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Right. Yeah. And so philosophically, God is a non-material being and therefore doesn't compete with any material realm to, attribute or derive his existence or sustenance from. His self-definition in Exodus is I am who I am, being that God is not defined with reference to anything external to himself. But it's fascinating. I was just referencing a book by, again, John Lennox on A Science-Buried God. And one of the things that philosopher Alvin Plantinga mentions is the hypothesis of certain multiverse is that an infinite number of potential multiverses exist. And if it's possible that an infinite number of multiverses exist, then it means that there is a universe in which God exists. And therefore, because if you have an infinite number, there's an infinite number of possibilities. So in one sense, it ends up being a little bit self-defeating, and I don't think it's as much of an escape hatch as sometimes people postulate.
Yeah, to be honest, I think most people, lay people who haven't done the research or haven't looked at the evidence, we just want to believe that it might be true because then there's an alternate reality where I'm more handsome than I already am. Or richer, or have less suffering. I do think the same thing. There's really no evidence of it.
By definition, there can't be, because the multiverse is a universe outside of our observational and experience interaction. Therefore, it's always going to be, in one sense, philosophical and speculative. It kind of, you can't really expect to get any evidence of it because it's by definition outside of our realm of engagement.
Right.
Yeah.